planet is precious. It provides everything we need to live and survive. And it's been this way for 3 billion years. Until now. This period, which scientists call the Age of the Anthropocene. In this age, humans have altered nearly 3 out of every 4 hectares of all the ice-free land on the Earth. Mostly over the last 60 years. And it's mainly to meet an ever-growing demand for food, raw materials, and to build homes and highways. Desertification and land degradation has affected more than 3 billion people worldwide negatively. This film takes you on a journey of 5 countries to see the heroes of this age, who are changing this to make the Earth a better place for our children. Their efforts to restore land are changing lives, livelihoods, and also saving our planet's rich biodiversity. They are making unproductive land productive again at a reasonable cost and fighting climate change at the same time. Restoring degrading land is how we guarantee food security and move to a green economy and sustainable growth for all. In the Jesus Maria River Basin, agriculture, cattle grazing, and soil degradation had ravaged this landscape.
Y el problema que teníamos aquí en 2012 es que estas 4.2 hectáreas eran 4.2 hectáreas de desierto. El problema más grave que teníamos era que son fincas o eran fincas sobretrabajadas o sobreexplotadas con químicos, herbicidas, fungicidas.
A massive restoration effort titled the Satayoma Initiative was undertaken with the local communities. It has helped secure livelihoods and revitalize the forest. Not just this, farmers were trained in watershed management and organic farming. They have planted more than 54,000 trees. In just 5 years, the Rohimya farm has changed. Local bee species that had vanished are now everywhere.
Podemos decir que estamos libres de químicos, libres de herbicidas, absolutamente. Yo digo, cada banano que me como de esta finca tiene el potasio natural y tiene todo lo que la tierra me ofrece.
In the 1980s, Costa Rica initiated an ambitious plan to halt deforestation and restore its degraded lands. A healed landscape means a healthier planet. And it's not just Costa Rica. In other parts of the world, too, change is on the way. In the Krayan highlands of Indonesia, a traditional agriculture cycle in tune with nature is followed. Fields are left fallow to allow the soil to rejuvenate, promoting local food systems to help preserve all the diverse species found in this region. The Wise Foodways public campaign promotes food consumption and production that is fair and can support present and future generations. The products include Adang Krayan rice from North Kalimantan, coarse salt from Central Java, palm sugar from Southeast Sulawesi, forest honey from West Kalimantan, coffee from South Sulawesi.
Family farming, traditional agricultural practices, which are the majority in many parts of the world, are nature-rich practices, not only because they conserve biodiversity, but also and ecosystem functions, but also because they can adapt to the natural cycle.
As part of the campaign, celebrity chefs, women farmers, and traders in local markets received extensive training.
Kita biasa menanam cari-cari tanah tempat yang cocok lah, yang agak gembur-gembur begitu. Kita ndak tahu memakai pupuk apakah dia, kita ndak tahu, ndak biasa pakai pupuk.
Our food systems need a complete overhaul. We must learn from traditional farming practices that for centuries have kept the land healthy. Sound agricultural practices can help in growing food that's good for us and the planet. And it's not just farmers. Urban citizens are also joining land restoration efforts. In cities across Canada, volunteers are growing a patchwork of habitats for bees and butterflies across Canada. More than 50,000 wildflower and 1,000 pollinator gardens now exist in parks, schools, and homes all over the country.
The project started in 5 cities in 2017, and it was quite a surprise during the pandemic. It actually has now exploded to over 400 Canadian cities that have participants that are keen to make their communities healthier and greener. And they do that by finding native wildflowers and shrubs, the plants that bees and butterflies depend on, and they get neighbors and friends to plant them throughout their neighborhoods.
Climate change and the use of pesticides have destroyed the homes of these tiny creatures. The monarch butterfly population has fallen by 90% in North America. The butterflies travel from their summer breeding grounds to locations in Mexico and parts of California during the winter. Saving them requires coordination across different regions. The Monarch joint venture does research, community mobilization, restoring habitats, and more with over 100 organizations.
A major area of our work is research and monitoring, and getting our partners engaged in not only doing conservation and educating people about monarchs, but also learning about how we can do conservation better.
Butterflies and bees are the pollination superpowers, responsible for 1 out of every 3 bites of the food we eat. And we save our own future when we save them. A no-pesticide movement is blossoming in another part of the world. This is helping to save not just bees and butterflies, it's providing livelihoods to people. In Andhra Pradesh, India, Pushpavati's field is lush green even in the dry season. On her neighbor's plot, crops and soil fertility are falling. About 700,000 farmers spread across 3,000 villages are stirring a chemical-free green revolution. The Ritu Sadikar Samstha, farmers' empowerment organization led by the government of Andhra Pradesh, wants to change how food is produced in the state. The principles of natural farming are simple. Minimum tilling, grow at least 8 crops, the use of natural instead of chemical fertilizers.
కానీ అది అట్లే వస్తుంది సార్, జీవామృతం స్ప్రే చేయడం వల్ల. వర్షం కూడా లేకపోయినా ఈ మల్చింగ్ ద్వారా అది ఎప్పుడు పచ్చగానే ఉంటుంది, కాయ పూత ఎప్పుడు జరుగుతూనే ఉంది సార్. మాకు 25 రకాలు రోజు కోయడం, రోజు అమ్మడం జరుగుతుంది సార్. రోజు డబ్బులు రావడమే జరుగుతుంది. అందువలన ఈ 50 సెంట్ల 60.
Crushed jaggery, cow dung, and pulses are mixed and fermented to make the natural fertilizer. Farmers are trained for up to 3 years by the experts. Women's self-help groups across the state of Andhra have contributed to the success of this project. Research studies have shown that farmers use less water and electricity and are now saving up to $2,000 per season.
It's a win-win-win. Their livelihoods have multiplied. They're supplying nutritious food, thereby improving people's health, and more important, by reversing land degradation and keeping soils covered throughout the year, they're improving planetary health.
Andhra Pradesh plans to convert to 100% natural farming, making it the world's largest agroecology program. It's helping farmers like Pushpavati become climate ready. In the semi-arid regions of North Kenya, an initiative is helping pastoralists deal with recurring drought. In Isiolo, nomadic pastoralists herd livestock. This is their main source of income. The search for pasture and water is a daily struggle. Recurring droughts have ruined the local economy. It is pushing people to the brink of poverty and worsening food insecurity. Feed the Future, with the support of USAID, is helping communities to improve their resilience to these stressors. A demonstration farm has been set up to train pastoralists in livestock breeding and management.
USAID Kenya and East Africa has been supporting efforts that strengthen health and nutrition systems in drought-affected areas as part of its humanitarian assistance. This is to mitigate the effects of recurrent natural hazards and spur economic growth.
Businesses are supported in ways that help herders to enter the market. Commercial pasture production is done with a private company. The firm contracts local people to supply hay, which is reserved and only distributed during droughts. More severe and frequent droughts are expected in the future due to extreme weather events linked to climate change. But innovations built on an understanding of the local conditions can increase the economic stability and resilience of communities to climate change. Change is on the way all over the world. Small, isolated actions can change the world. When countries, governments, citizens, the private sector, everyone joins in.
By 2030, if countries recover roughly 1 billion hectares of land, then we will be in good shape. The UN Convention to Combat Desertification was set up to help promote sustainable land management. Our goal is to protect the planet and to protect us from the overuse of land and from drought. Our goal is to avoid, reduce, and reverse land degradation. Healthy land breeds healthy people. Healthy land provides food, water, and energy for generations to come. We are, in my view, the last generation to be able to heal the planet before it is too late. It's a privilege, but it's also a huge responsibility.
Hi, my name is Yassine Kessi. I'm the creator of ELIX and the Art and Strategy Director of the ELIX Foundation. We are proud and honored to be part of this Desertification and Drought Day, opening the decade for ecosystem restoration. At ELIX Foundation and Company, we have strongly advocated for the SDGs since their very first day. We address everyone, people, governments, as well as companies. The SDGs concern everybody.
I am Adeline Pilon. I'm the director of the ELIX Foundation and the ELIX Company. At the ELIX Foundation, we have two programs. The first one, 10 to Go, address complex issues with a simple languages so that everyone can understand and feel included in the decade of action. The second program, Atmospheres, helps political institutions to seize the SDGs. With our company, we help other companies to integrate SDGs in their strategies and be ready for the new challenge of regeneration. We strongly believe that the next step of sustainability is regeneration. The COVID crisis is an opportunity both for the public and the private sector to build back better.
Elix and the whole team will be there to spread the message and help building the culture of regeneration. We are one.
First lady, by far, you are truly amazing, and your love is like no other. You are my first lady, my heart, my mother.
Yeah, couldn't paint a better perfect picture. Well versed with life, your soul filled with scripture, days filled with strife. You kept a clearer vision in your perspective on living this purpose. I'm just scratching the surface, cause you're more than worthless. Better yet, you shine like a diamond, or maybe the sun at high noon. Not a melody, you're more like a fine tune. I admire you and how you supply through hardships, hard hits, and being lied to. I saw you the sky's blue, days on your knees, praying for a better day, way out of no way. I celebrate you today, since you're not gone away. It's a perfect time for me to say that I love you greatly. And God knew what she was doing, making you my first lady again.
You are my first lady, by far. You are truly amazing, and your love is like no other. You are my first lady, my heart, my mother.
My superhero, miracle mom, when going through your storm, you always stay calm. That's phenomenal. So I follow suit, fall in line like a domino. It only make you stronger, son. That's where the problem for. Exact words I need in this game called life to help me proceed. You a queen indeed, sitting on your throne. Too many years of renting to own and home. Not too long ago, I observed you drinking a much herb and sinking into your worrying, time stressing. But you pulled through, outlasting your testing. A real woman's all about her progression. Woo. With no second guessing, another reason why you are the best, and I love you great.
Said I love you greatly.
And God knew what she was doing, making you my first lady.
You are my first lady, by far. You are truly amazing, and your love is like no other. You are my first lady, my heart, my mother.
And for the record, you epitomize love, plus define trust, the reason I always take my time and don't rush a season for your harvest to grow. Just hush, and when you learn emotion, not talking so much, cause I could quote you for days, all to display that I listen to all you have to say. Cause mom, you're intelligent, some say you're heaven sent. I don't say a word cause your action is evidence. You don't say a word and your action is evident. Got plenty to share from your days spent learning the world and learning yourself and learning to play the cards that life dealt in. Learning that love is more than heartfelt. Expressed through these words, I'm hoping your heart felt. And I love you greatly. Look, and God knew what she was doing, making you my first lady again.
You are my first lady, by far. You are truly amazing, and your love is like no other. You are my first lady, my heart, my mother. I love you greatly, my first lady.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, Namaste from India. I'm Ricky Cage, and this Desertification and Drought Day, let us remember that we are all born from the land. We depend on the land for everything. Its bounty nourishes us and provides all of us a livelihood. Yet we're often too short-sighted to realize that the excessive burden that we place on the land can destroy the very foundation of our prosperity and well-being. Changes in land use are a leading cause of a looming extinction for nearly 1 million species. Land that we have degraded loses its ability to store organic carbon and thus mitigate the effects of climate change. Now we need to make the choice to prevent land degradation so that land can continue to sustain and protect us in turn. Protecting land from desertification means protecting future disasters for people and the planet, such as the climate crisis, biodiversity loss, and devastating pandemics. We are living now through very, very tough times, and all of us know that. And to overcome them, to survive and to thrive, we need to commit to building forward and building better with healthy land and at peace with nature. Now, as a proud land ambassador of the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, I invite you to celebrate the joy of life that comes with the land today and for every day and forever.
Even on a cloudy day, I still shine. Being born from the land that is all mine.
My name is Ahmad Woodard, and I'm from Washington, D.C.
My name is Petra Munter, and I'm from D.C.
For me, my creative process is, first I hit a beat, and then whatever comes to mind, I just allow my pen to just take over.
My creative process is I have my journal or a beat that somebody helped me make, and I show up to my creativity. I start writing and coming up with melodies, and I record it on my phone too, so I remember for later, and eventually it all just comes together, you know? Every song is its own process.
This collaborative project with United Nations is an honor. Not only the fact that it's with United Nations, but just considering the talent that I have around me, such as Petra and Jordan. They really push me, so I'm honored for both the collaborators and the fact that it's tied to the United Nations.
I am very honored to be part of this project because I get to collaborate with so many talented artists and do something national, which will be a huge boost for me, and it's my dream to be an artist someday. This song is pretty much about how we should appreciate the life around us, the world, the land, that we're all born here, it's our home, so yeah.
The concept was really just an homage and just paying homage to the world. You know, it's basically a love letter to the world. You know, talking about how we're born from the land, but showing our appreciation for the land.
We're born from the land. Whoa. You and I and all of life. Whoa. We're born from the land.
Even on a cloudy day, I still shine. Being born from the land that is all mine. But Mother Earth has been hurt and so scarred. We only get one mother, that's why it breaks my heart. Build a better world for every boy and girl. Nothing will change if we choose to stay the same. I can't breathe when you're cutting down all our trees. So much debris on the ground and in the sea. Make it a better place before we all leave. If not, then that's the end of humanity. Do you love the world more than you love greed? Let's celebrate something that we all need.
Let's celebrate the joy of life. and safe for you and me. Look at this place that we call home, where thousands of species of animals roam. So everyone come and hold hands and let our feet dance on this beautiful land.
Let's celebrate the joy of life. Oh, we're born from the land. Oh, you and I and all of life. Oh, we're born from the land.
As far as the eye can see, with so much green on planet Earth, but it's not money. I was born from the land that created me. Keep my head to the skies, I continue to dream. Feel the power of the world beneath your feet. Taste the purity through the water you drink. Let the sun hit your skin and give you vitamin D. Be as free as a leaf blowing through the summer breeze. Find the joy of life and soon you'll find peace.
Let's celebrate the joy of life. Oh, we're born from the land. You and I and all of life. We're born from the land. Yes, we are. Let's celebrate the joy of life. Oh, we're born from the land. Oh, you and I and all of life. Oh, we're born from the land. We're born from the land. Mama, mama, mama told me before you go, set yourself free from your ego. Mama told me, don't hold back. Mama told me, no turning back. Mama told me before you fall for somebody, don't lose control, never hide who you are. Mama told me, no turning back. My mama told me.
sauye, babli yo sauye, palaje sauye, 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 sauye.
Our land is so much more than just dirt. Healthy soil is full of plants, animals, and microbes. It is home to more than a quarter of our planet's biodiversity. And healthy soil produces healthier, more nutritious, and simply more food. It's critical to our very survival. It even helps to fight climate change. Currently, healthy soils provide the largest store of carbon on Earth. But today, more than 1/5 of the planet's land is being degraded. This already negatively impacts the livelihoods of 3.2 billion people, and unless we act now, it's only going to get worse. At the United Nations, we are encouraging member states to set land degradation neutrality targets. So far, 123 countries have set commitments, but we need all 193 member states to do so. Shovel-ready restoration projects that have the potential to create millions of low-skilled jobs are critical to reach these targets. We also must empower the over 1 billion people who work in the agricultural sector, a third of all workers globally. Secure land rights are a primary factor to achieve the land degradation neutrality goals and the associated improvements in food, water, and livelihood security. I advocated for these solutions to land degradation at a meeting of the General Assembly on May the 20th. Now is the time to turn commitments into reality. Together we can reverse the alarming downward trend in soil health and create jobs and rebuild lives today, as well as protect our planet for the future.
Dear colleagues and friends, we are entering the last segment of the celebrations for the Desertification and Drought Day. 3 events coming up before we close. A music concert, the launch of the Global Assessment Report on Drought, and third, His Excellency, the President of Costa Rica, will host and lead a virtual high-level forum. We thank the people and government of Costa Rica you did more than host a colorful, informative, world-class celebration. Led by His Excellency the President and the Minister for Environment and Energy, you rallied world leaders to raise the ambition countries have presented to speed out the post-COVID-19 recovery. Costa Rica, you amazed us and you inspired us. Thank you. To the artists and musicians, you shared more than your time, talent, and craft through dance, musical performances, and film. You brought fun, color, and emotion to a complex and dry subject. And for the first time in our celebrations, we had kids on our program, and you reached out to us. First, offering help for the Great Green Wall, the grown, not built, world wonder. Participating and showing your own initiatives to heal the land and planet reassures us that the restoration of the 1 billion hectares pledged is possible. You were amazing, and we thank you for that. Finally, let me thank my colleagues at the convention for the conception, production, and execution of today's program. A special word of thanks to the communications team. They worked tirelessly for the past half year to design this lovely program. A small, dynamic team which does wonders. If we avoid, reduce, and reverse land degradation, we will shift the needle on land restoration this decade and heal nature, not only for us, but for our children and our future. And without further delay, I invite you to enjoy the music concert and then join us for the launch of the Global Assessment Report on Drought, and of course, the high-level forum hosted by the President of Costa Rica. I hope you enjoy the events, and I wish you a happy Desertification and Drought Day. Thank you.
Era una historia de amor como cualquiera. Nadie me puede decir que no ha pasado, que una muchacha de aquí se haya fugado con un muchacho de allá, del otro lado. ¿A dónde estaba el perdido sueño del alma? Espuma de los remansos donde crecí. ¿A dónde estaba durmiendo el lirio del agua? Nací solo para verte. Nací solo para verte llegar a mí.
Nadie sabe a dónde va, dónde acabará el camino. Nadie tiene la certeza de llegar a su destino. No hay forma de asegurar que vas a tocar el puerto con tu quilla de volar, con tu voz de mar abierto. Por eso voy remando lento hacia tu luz, la cara al viento, porque el camino se ha caballo a media vida, a medio verso.
sigo aquí pensando cosas malas y me lleno de voces y recuerdos que me traen tus ojos de gitana. Bebo un trago en el bar de los malditos y me pierdo en la noche que te llama. Entre la oscuridad y los delirios vuelvo a amarte, muchacha en María Baja. Sí, en María Baja. Y en las malas palabras de tu cuerpo, en pecado mortal te entrego el alma. Tal vez fue solo un juego del deseo, pero quien mal comienza mal acaba. Y en este mal país es paraíso, donde se enciende el mar como una hoguera, a donde van los gatos del olvido. Cuando el viento es tu calma y es mi espera, donde el camino es corto y es eterno, entre nubes de sal y cordillera, me quedo en rojo de aquel sol, muriendo allá en tu mal país, quemando el cielo. Con los ojos desconocidos, desempolvando besos y nostalgia. Regresar cuando todo sabe a recuerdo y a mañana. Sin bajar en las estaciones, juntando atardeceres por el camino. Cuando el viento nos pone dentro del pecho, aroma flor de naranjo, con un sueño escondido en el equipaje. Los zapatos, el rumbo y de vez en cuando algún licor exótico en subversivo de contrabando. Y regresar cantando y enamorado en la cálida magia de una caricia. Mi collar dormido en el aguacero. Allí donde se levantan los hijos de la siembra, revientan en el aire todas las estrellas. Donde la tierra crece, se mezcla con la sangre e inevitablemente mi corazón se vuelve pájaro. Llanura, arena y espuma. Y en la noche tiene el amor bajo los árboles, muchacha y luna. Regresaré con prisas en la garganta, a recorrer distinto las mismas calles, las mismas avenidas y ventanas, las soledades, y buscaré tu cuerpo, agua del río, perdido entre la sombra de estos bosques, cristalino y oscuro y amanecido. Allí donde se levantan los picos de la siembra, revientan en el aire todas las estrellas. Donde la tierra crece, se mezcla con la sangre e inevitablemente mi corazón se vuelve pájaro. Llanura, arena y espuma. Y en la noche tiene el amor bajo los árboles, muchacha y luna. Muchacha y luna.